everyone, it's your girl Shay here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And if you're new to my channel, hi, what's up? I'm Shay, and I usually come out with videos pertaining to anime, manga, Marvel, comics, video games, basically anything that's nerd related, everything from reviews to just discussions of things that I just feel like I want to talk about. And I also come out with videos on Mondays that are about motivational videos, but at least I hope are motivational videos. But as you can see by the title for this video, I'm doing an anime review, and that anime review is going to be on March Comes in Like a Lion Season 2. I already did a review about Season 1, and I promised you guys I'd do a review on Season 2, so here it is. Also, I want to say that these thoughts that I have about this show are purely my opinion. So I mean no hate, I mean no judgment towards anyone that really did enjoy this show, or if I feel like I said anything that pertained to, me either not liking it, or if you feel differently about my opinion, that's perfectly a-okay. Only thing that I ask is to please respect my opinion, so please don't be in my comments below telling me I'm wrong, because how can I be wrong about an opinion? But that's besides the point. I also want to say that this review is going to have spoilers, so if you have not seen Season 2 of March Comes in Like a Lion or has not seen the anime at all, you may not want to watch this video. But for that, regardless of that, let's now get started with this review. And I do have my phone in my hand because I do have a couple of notes that I wrote down regarding this movie or regarding the show. So I want to make sure that I touch on everything that I basically thought about it before. So yeah, let me get started with this review. So as maybe you guys know, Season 2, March Comes in Like a Lion, basically preceded Season 1. And in Season 1, basically learned a lot about Ray and how he plays shogi and about his family and everything else. Season 2 kind of takes a little bit of a different approach. And I have to say, regarding Season 2, I both liked certain parts of it and then I hated certain parts of it. But let me get into the parts first that I did like about it. So one of the things I did like about it is about the main character, Ray. I feel like Ray in Season 2 grew a whole lot more than he did in Season 1. In Season 1, you learned a lot more about his family and how he kind of played shogi and kind of like, I want to say he was kind of emo a little bit, and he was kind of sad all the time and everything else. And I feel like in Season 2, he kind of really grew out of his shell a little bit more. He started to ask for people for help. He also started to help more people and started to also understand that the people around him were pretty much just there to help him and to be friends with him. He also, while going to school, joined a club, and I feel like he really started to grow to be a teenager per se, and really grew into a lot more of whom his personality is. So that's what I did like about Season 2, was because you saw a whole different side of Ray, and he really seemed to grow between Season 1 and Season 2, and that's what I liked. But now I'm getting into the stuff that I didn't like, which I'm sorry to say I didn't like more about the show than I liked it. So one of the things I want to say is that in episode 10, there was a story about Junpei, whom I believe was I want to say he's a mentor to Ray. But one of the things I didn't understand was that I didn't like his backstory, and let me explain why. So some people probably might like his backstory. I wanted to back up from the camera just a little bit. I feel like I was a little bit way too close. But anyway, I wanted to explain that I didn't like his backstory, and it's not because of the substance of it. It was because of when it came in. I also apologize if the light just changed. My lights were on a timer and they literally just turned off. But anyway, I didn't like the momentum that it had. And that is because this episode came right in between the issues that Hina was having regarding bullying, which I absolutely loved that arc. I thought that arc was amazing. I thought it was very substantial, kind of to the story because of how Ray was handling it. But when you brought in the backstory of Junpei, it kind of tore that momentum apart, because I was kind of like, I don't understand why I need to care about this character more, and I also don't understand why they put it in when they did. I feel like it could have had a whole different episode either before or after the issues regarding Hina were resolved, or they could have melded it in a little bit of an easier way concerning the way that they did it, which I think took up most of an episode. And while I did enjoy, I will say, within that episode was Junpei's monologue, because of his resilience to get up and try again, and how that's very influential towards young people, and that you should always just continue striving and just, basically don't give up. And that as an adult, you kind of lose that because you do fall to the pressures that society has for you, and then you don't get up and try again after that. But I also want to say that that's that episode, how I felt about that particular episode. And then regarding the rest of the series, I kind of just felt like it was all over the place, because I felt like they kept introducing or having new characters introduced that I necessarily, for me, felt like I didn't care about. And I think that's because they introduced a lot of characters that were in the shogi world. And some of these characters I just didn't care. I did care about Ray's friend, the bigger guy that was sick. I did care about him because they showed him a lot throughout the entire show, both season 1 and in season 2. But I didn't like in season 2 how they brought in a lot of other new older shogi players, and I didn't care about them. And I think what it had to do wasn't that I didn't care about them, I didn't care about their shogi matches, and I feel like they kept showing their shogi matches, and in reality I really just wanted to see Ray's shogi matches, or I felt like the shogi matches went on a little bit too long. I understand why they did it, because as someone who has watched other sports anime like Kuroko's Basketball or Prince of Tennis, yes, they do show matches from other schools or other players, and I feel like it's just a great way for you to see whom like the main villain is or whom they're trying to defeat, their way of playing, or their strategies. But I feel like in the shogi world they just show different people playing shogi, of characters that were introduced to Ray, that were mentors, but I just felt like the shogi matches didn't need to be shown as long as they were. So that for me is just kind of a bit of a turn off, made me kind of a little bit bored, and didn't make me very excited to watch subsequent shogi matches unless it was like Ray's matches, which I understood them showing them because he's the main character. I also have to say that there were too many monologues, and I don't mind monologues whatsoever. Like I mentioned before, Junpei had a monologue in his backstory, and it made sense for him to have a monologue in his backstory. I also really enjoyed it. Like I said, I like monologues when they are done tastefully and when there's not too many. I feel like in March Comes Like Online, there's too many monologues, too many people that are in their thoughts, that are saying their feelings, and then after a while it gets redundant and it doesn't have the impact that most monologues tend to have. And I just felt like they could have cut a lot of those monologues very, very short, or just not have them included at all. And that's just my thoughts. That's just how I feel about it. But ultimately, that's what I mostly disliked about it. I will say, going back to what I did like, was that I did like the cuts back to Hina and her sisters. And honestly, I feel like they could make an entire show just about Hina and her sisters, because they're super funny. Their lives are very interesting, and I really enjoyed that. And then now I'm once again cutting back to what I didn't like. I also feel like there were so many holes left in the story, because in season 1 they talked so much about Ray's family and these issues that he went through as a kid, but I feel like they never totally got to the root of what those issues were. And in season 2 I really thought they would have, and unless I missed it, which granted that could have happened, in season 2 they never really touched on it, and I feel like me as a viewer was kind of left in the dark, and I think they probably felt like the viewers weren't going to see that. But I saw it and I realized it, because I was just like, oh, there were certain parts of his family or about his home life that was hinted at in season 1, but in season 2 they never discussed it, and they never brought it up again, and they never got to the root of the problem that he was going through. But I feel like season 2 was just more so about him like growing up and getting older and like becoming a kid, and like basically kind of like enjoying shogi again, and not like taking it, I don't want to say so seriously, but like he's taking it seriously and he's enjoying it a lot more also in the process compared to the first season. But I also felt like they could have went more into the issues that they brought up in season 1 and went into them more season 2, because that's what I really liked, was the seriousness parts of season 1 where they went more into his backstory and you learned more about Ray as a character. But then when you went into season 2, it's like none of that was there anymore, which didn't make any sense to me. But that's kind of how I felt overall though about season 2, was that there are parts I liked, there are parts I didn't like, but as an overarching how I felt about it was that I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy March Comes In Like a Lion season 1 or season 2. I have to honestly say, I understand why some people probably really do enjoy this show, and I understand why it was such a huge hit when it came out. I, for one, though, realized it was not a show meant for me. Maybe it was because I enjoy sports shows, by all means, but this was just not as exciting as I would have wanted it to be, and I didn't enjoy the like solemnness of a lot of the characters, I guess, and I just didn't enjoy the constant switching between different characters or between different issues going on. I don't know, there was a lot going on, to be completely honest with you, but I just didn't completely enjoy it. And that's kind of just how I feel about March Comes in Like a Lion season 2. Overall though, I am glad I watched it, because I know a lot of people recommended the show to me. They really wanted me to watch it, and I'm glad I watched it. But I have to say I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would have enjoyed it, because of how much I was hearing about the show. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, I do want to hear your comments. I want to hear, if you liked it, what did you like about it? And maybe there's some things that I might have missed during the show that were actually pretty good. So definitely want to read those comments. And please, once again, like I said, this is purely my opinion, so please don't like take this to heart, or don't get butthurt if I didn't like your show. And don't, flame me in the comments. Don't flame me in the comments since I said I didn't really like this show, because it's just my opinion. So yeah, just try not to get butthurt. That's all. Just try your best and understand and respect my opinion. Also, I will say I will have links down below to my social media accounts. I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter, and I have a blog. My Instagram, I post pictures of like myself, my fiance, whenever we go to Disneyland, which right now is shut down, so we can't go to Disneyland. And I also post like on my Instagram story like little motivational quotes and things like that. So definitely check me out on there. Feel free to follow me. Also on Twitter, I kind of post my different thoughts and stuff that's going on. So yeah, follow me there as well. And on my blog, I usually post my videos from YouTube onto my blog, and then usually every now and then I do come out with separate blog posts just for there, which is a lot of like book reviews or little things that are on my mind. So definitely check that out too. And of course, for my YouTube channel, if you're enjoying it, which I hope you are. I know a lot of people watch my videos who are not yet subscribed, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up as well. Comment down below, whatever you like to do. But yeah, just subscribe. And of course, hit the bell icon so you're notified when I come out with new videos, which are every Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So yeah, check me out then. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I always tell you guys, stay positive, stay nerdy, and during this time frame, stay healthy. All right, you guys.